Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Questions with Connie. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about some more Halloween goodies that I got. This time it's going to be about the Texas Haunters Convention that I went to. I have a video that I will link in the description as well as somewhere here in the video floating around up in this area. So that way if you want to check that out next year, then you have the opportunity to do that. But without further ado, this is one of the things. I'll go a little bit more into the items in a minute, but that's just the most exciting thing, so I just had to give you guys a sneak peek. Let's talk about the convention. So the Texas Haunters Convention happens every year, and this one was actually held at the Mesquite Convention Center. And this year was me and my husband's first time going to this convention. We did go to the Texas Frightmare Weekend, and I did have some feelings about that. I will link the video that I did on that one, where I ended with exactly what I thought about it, the good, bad, and the ugly, just so that way you could see for yourself how you'd feel about it and whether you'd want to go. A big difference between the two, I did mention in my video about the Texas Frightmare Weekend what a crazy experience it was, the beginning of it, getting in line, not realizing that I needed a wristband even though I already bought an online ticket, and what a fiasco that turned into. The organization of it was just kind of poor in my opinion, so for this one it definitely was a lot better. The organization was beautiful. There was no chaos, no lines, no nothing. I got there, didn't get there earlier or right on time. I got there a little bit late, and I did that with intention because I thought if there was any chance that there was going to be any crazy lines or people waiting outside, I didn't really want to be a part of that like I was for the Texas Frightmare Weekend. So I got there a little bit later, had no trouble finding parking because they're a yearly thing and the venues do tend to change. I'm not sure if they're working with the same people or what's going on, but it just tends to be a little chaotic, I guess, if they're not properly prepared or if things aren't vetted properly. So things can go wrong, in other words. But for the Texas Frightmare Weekend, it just kind of seemed like unless you've been there before, you really wouldn't have a way of knowing because there was nothing on the website, nothing on the tickets when you purchased them, telling you that you needed to go to will call before you got in line. So I was literally waiting an hour in the line, having no idea or clue that I needed a wristband until I got to the actual door. And you can imagine how horrible that was and how awful it is to approach the door after you've been waiting an hour in the heat to basically find out that you needed to go to another line, which was almost just as long as the one you just waited in, and to start all over again. So yeah, that was just really a bad experience. Left a poor taste in my mouth. However, the place itself I would definitely go back to. It was just something that I think you need to be more vocal about if you're going to have it be that process, and then also turn people away if they've been waiting in line for an hour because they don't have their wristband, because that's, you know, a big deterrent. But anyway, so this one did not have that issue at all. So you basically walk right on in. You go in and they have people pretty much everywhere that are helpful, smiling, ready to help you and tell you where you need to go. And there are these kiosks that they have set up where all you do is scan your QR code and it prints out your wristbands, put them on, and you're in the door. So I loved that. That was great. It was such a night and day difference from the Texas Frightmare Weekend to this one. It actually made me prefer this one. So I think that honestly, between the two, the big draw for the Texas Frightmare Weekend is that there's a whole lot of celebrities that you can take pictures with. There's photo ops, there's autographs. So that one does have that aspect and this one doesn't have it. So if that is the biggest draw for you and that is really why you're going, then Texas Frightmare Weekend is kind of really the only choice. If you are really only in it because you want to see the cool stuff that people make, and you are actually partial to handmade Halloween items or one-of-a-kind things, then I would say that the Texas Haunters Convention is definitely much more relaxed. I just thought overall it was just a better experience, and I enjoyed being there more than I did Texas Frightmare Weekend, just because from the beginning it was just a smoother process. So that in mind, if you're kind of debating or you're thinking, ooh, I'm looking at these and I'm trying to figure out which one I want to do for the next year, if you're more into the handmade, one-of-a-kind type decor, then I would definitely say that the Texas Haunters Convention is more your speed, or would be more something that you might want to do. And then the other one would be if you are wanting to get an autograph and wanting to pay for one of those type of opportunities, then that one's going to be more of the thing you want to do. So really just kind of depends on exactly what the biggest draw for you is to go to one of these things. But either way, both are pretty much a blast once you're in there. As far as the Texas Frightmare, once we got through the beginning fiasco part of it, it was still pretty enjoyable. There are a lot more people, I would say, at the Texas Frightmare weekend, or at least for my experience this year, there was. I went to both on a Saturday. Yeah, it was definitely way more space, more room to breathe. They had a lot more opportunities where you could go and sit down and do something other than walk through the vendor areas for the Texas Haunters Convention. So I really liked that part of it because there was actually a place to sit and just chill if you needed a break. It just kind of depends on what you want to do. I know that Texas Haunters Convention is actually going to be in the Irving Convention Center next year, which is where the Texas Frightmare weekend was, and I'm pretty excited about that because that's a bigger venue. So I'm hoping that if they do have it there, that they don't change the overall feel and vibe and flow of the way that they've done things, because I really enjoyed that part of it so much. And I also am hoping that the areas that they have kind of for free space or for you to chill or relax or whatever they do are on maybe the other levels. So that way, if you need a break from being amongst all the hustle and bustle and all the people, then you have a place you can go and relax and get away from it and all the noise. But that's just me. That's my take on it. So I enjoyed both. Like I said, and I will likely probably go back to both every year just because I really love the aspect of being able to see the different vendors in person and to be able to buy things from the vendors who do make things uniquely, because I just think that's a cool aspect. I like the idea of supporting small businesses when and where I can. So for Halloween stuff especially, because I just, I've always mentioned in all my videos, hold such a near and dear place to my heart. So because of that, I am all for supporting any company or any small business who is trying to keep Halloween alive all year long, because for me that is my entire vibe. Part of my tagline for the logo that I created for my channel is Halloween is my lifestyle, because that is absolutely true. Pretty much majority of my wardrobe is Halloween related. I have bags, purses, my hair is purple. I mean, there's no other way to describe it but that really Halloween is my lifestyle, because I love talking about it. I love celebrating it pretty much all year. My entire house is decorated like Halloween. But anyway, so I am very much a Halloween supporter. I just love it. I love being around people who love Halloween, talking about it. So yeah, it's just one of those things that I enjoy so much that these kind of conventions are just, what my dreams are made of, I guess, is the way to put it. So without further ado, I want to talk to you guys about the items that I got at the convention, some of the cooler things that I felt made it entirely worth going, and that if you are a horror fan, then you will totally understand what I mean. And so I will kind of start with some of the smaller things and kind of go from there. So for one of the booths that I went to, they had all kinds of little earrings, and they had hair bows and clips and all sorts of things like that that I really thought were super, super cool. So some of the items that I got from there that I will show you guys are, I actually got this as a gift for, Hello Kitty earrings as a gift for someone that I know. Shout out to Chanel. And I got a couple of earrings for myself because, of course, that's kind of the main thing I'm shopping for when I go there. I always tell people this is like early Christmas for me because I get so many things that I am so excited about and so happy to have. But of course, you guys already know I have a Terrifier purse, and I have quite a few Terrifier t-shirts, And so I was really excited to add these to my collection because, I mean, they're just so cool. And then these I thought were just super, super cute. They're like a rubbery material, which I think is great because, you know, if I go to Universal during Halloween Horror Nights and if I'm getting wet or getting on a water ride or anything like that, then these would be perfect because they're not going to get ruined. But it's a Chucky and Tiffany, which I think is so cute, and I'm hoping that those are showing properly. But anyway, yeah, those are those guys. And then a couple of other little items that I got from the same place were these Ghostbusters glow in the dark hair clips. And I think those are pretty cool because I have a Ghostbusters shirt that I made because Halloween Horror Nights is actually having a Ghostbusters haunted house this year, and so I am of course excited to be able to have that in my collection. So pretty cool to have that. And then they also had these pretty neat little stretchy headbands, and I just really liked that one in particular. It you know, it's some simple material, but I like these because, you know, when I work out at home, I like to be able to have something that catches my sweat, but, you know, I'm always for anything that adds a splash or a little sprinkle of horror or of Halloween in some way, shape, or form. So for me, when I saw this and I was like, ooh, that's pretty cool, I was pretty excited to add that to my collection. Next, I just picked up some random free swag from Froggy's Fog, which I will say that if you are a Universal fan like I am, one thing that I found really, really cool and interesting about that is that they actually have one that's called Ocean. And if you're a Universal fan and you have gone on the ET ride, which of course if you're a Universal fan period, you've probably gone on that ride a million times, right? So that ride in particular has a very unique scent throughout its area, and I never knew what it was. I was like, man, it smells so nice, but I just can't pinpoint exactly what that scent is. Well, I'm pretty positive that it is the Froggy's Fog Ocean scent or something that's scented exactly the same, because it immediately made me think this is exactly what the ET ride smells like. And I know that sounds so weird, but you know how scents tend to be connected to memories. So yeah, that is definitely one. So if you haven't checked out Froggy's Fog Ocean scent and you like the way that the ET ride smells, then definitely check that out because it smells spot on. I actually was considering maybe getting some and putting it into like a diffuser, so that way maybe I could spread that scent in my house because I really, really like it. So yeah, definitely check that out if you haven't. Some really cool, unique things that we got from a vendor who is an artist, is a artist named Lauren Gibson, and we picked up a couple of things. So this one is a comic book that her and several artists collaborated on, and pretty neat. And yeah, I'm gonna open that up so we can see what it looks like because I don't think I've opened it yet. But that is actually my husband's, and we just really like the idea of collecting comic books that are related to horror anything. So yeah, check that out, guys. So yeah, I thought that was really neat to see something unique made by a person who does graphic art and also does prints of their paintings, excuse me. But not only that, but getting to meet her, and she was just one of the nicest people. And that's also something I enjoy, is meeting anyone who, you know, shares a passion for Halloween. It's just a fun thing to do. I actually did a short called People of Halloween, and it's because I enjoy so much all the people who do dress up really crazy and do elaborate outfits or cosplay for the conventions, because I know just how much work that is, not to mention you're having to kind of be uncomfortable in those outfits all the whole time. But I know for a fact that they're doing it not only for their own enjoyment, but you know, for the enjoyment that other people get out of that and what it brings to the convention. And I so appreciate that. So if you're one of the people who was in my short, or if you do dress up for those things, just know that people like me appreciate you and love that you do that, because it is just such a fun addition to the day. And I absolutely enjoy seeing it. I love seeing the costumes, and I love seeing people really get into the holidays. So thanks for that if you were one of those. So these are some of the prints that I got from the same artist, Lauren Gibson, and I just love them. So these are kind of similar to, and I'll tag the video here, but there are some prints that I got from an artist named Chris Oz Fulton, and he does some great work as far as you know, doing drawings and paintings or whatnot of horror related things. He does a slew of other things as well, but for me, of course, horror is the main draw, so he does a lot of those, and I got some of his work and framed it and put it on my wall, and I will plug a picture in here of that. And I just love the way it turned out, and I look forward to adding more things like this from, you know, specific people who do horror themed art, because I just love it. I think it's hilarious. So this one I really like in particular. What I love about it is that it reminds me of the, well, actually my favorite Nightmare on Elm Street or Freddy Krueger movie, which is the Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Definitely hands down one of my favorite Freddy movies. And this definitely reminds me of it. It's kind of what I imagine Freddy looked like when he calls Nancy's character and kind of harasses her on the phone. So it's kind of a turducken movie. It's a movie within a movie. So this definitely brings back nostalgia for me. So I was really excited to have something Freddy that I'm going to be able to put on my wall. These next two are some that, one of the things that me and my husband loved about them is that they kind of look like those usual abstract paintings, except with something horror kind of ripped through the middle of them. So here is one of Leatherface that she did, and I just think that's so neat. Like, it's, you know, like a normal, regular, you know, everyday painting in the background, but then you've got this horror character coming through the middle of it, and we just love that. We think that's great. So yeah, I wanted to show that to you guys. And then this next one, similar situation. It is almost like, you know, an abstract, you know, scenic painting, and then you've got it stuff kind of right in the middle of it. So you've got the iconic red balloon from it, and then you've got Georgie in the background, and then a bunch of, you know, random little blood splotches. But I love it. It's just one of those things that, you know, you might not notice at first is horror related or Halloween related, but the more you look at it, the more you see that it absolutely is. And I just really enjoy that she does that. And next I'm going to show you guys some t-shirts that I got, and I love the style that these are done in. This particular vendor actually goes to both the Texas Frightmare weekend and to the Texas Hunters Convention, or at least they did this year. So I'm hoping that they do every year, because I really love the style that they do their shirts in, and I'm going to show you guys the ones that we got. And they're actually called the Halloween Shirt Company, which, you know, great to the point name. So that's the shirt that my husband got, and it's a great material. The shirts are soft and good quality, and the actual picture itself on the shirt is like a thicker vinyl, so it's not just like your everyday, like something you could have done on your own machine at home, you know, if you have a Cricut. It's not just something like that. It's actually pretty cool. Like, it's kind of textured, so I love it. I really like the color choices that they do. A lot of them look kind of vintage style almost. And yeah, we just really were looking forward to seeing what they had available, and love that shirt. And then with our tickets, we actually did get the t-shirts that the Texas Haunters convention comes out with. So just like the Texas Frightmare Weekend, they do their own shirt designs that they come out with every year, and I enjoyed the one that they did this year, and this is it. And it has a back part as well. And so that's always a cool touch. I like having shirts that are horror related, period, but it is also extra cool when it's related to something that is a memory. So I'm always excited for something like that, and especially when it's a design that I actually really like. And of course, I got some shots of the actual cowboy, you know, walking around the convention, which he's their mascot, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, I was excited to have that. And, and one of the things I forgot is this. So the same booth that had the hair bows and all those other things and the earrings also had these cute little rings, and I just really enjoy that. It's just a fun little quirky thing. I will probably have to cover it in nail polish to hopefully keep it from turning my finger green, because I am someone who wears costume jewelry all the time, and I tend to probably over wear it even when I know I shouldn't, wash my hands with it, and yeah, so I really don't want this one to ruin, so I'll probably have to put some some kind of sealant on it to make sure that that doesn't happen. But anyway, yeah, I just really liked that, and I forgot to show that. The main thing that I was really excited that I got, and honestly it made the entire trip to the convention worth going for, is this magnetized guy right here. So if you are a fan of horror, then likely you try to find things even at Christmas time to watch that are horror related. Or if you don't, maybe I'm just a weirdo and that's just something I do. But anyway, a classic in our household every Christmas is the Krampus movie, and it has been ever since it came out. It is just one of those movies that we watch every single Christmas, and I've even gotten my family watching it with us, most years. But this guy is basically one of the little characters from it, and I have never seen any kind of really memorabilia from that movie sold very much. I know there are some figures that you can find here and there, but when I saw these at the convention, I just about died. I was so excited seeing this, and I was like, man, I really honestly didn't even know if they were on sale, like for sale, because they were, they're magnetized, so they were sticking onto something metal and just kind of sitting there. And there's a lot of things at the convention that, some people as vendors will use as decor. So I kind of assumed that this guy was not for sale, but then I saw that there was some on the table. So I was like, okay, well, they wouldn't have them on a table if they weren't for sale. And I was just so happy when I found out that they were. And I want to say that I paid about $45 for this guy in particular, and I thought it was a steal because I was just so ecstatic to see that they had something Krampus, period. But they had multiple of them, and they even had if you've seen the movie, there is a scene where these guys come in, and there's actually a hook type chain that comes down from the chimney, and it has these little guys on it, and they're just kind of going nuts and trying to get stabby with some candy canes and all this stuff. But anyhow, so yeah, they had the whole chain with the hook and everything, and they had these guys, a couple of different ones. So if that same vendor goes back to Texas Haunters Convention and has more of these, I plan on probably buying a couple more, including that chain with the hook, because I am so excited to put it near my fireplace. Because it's just, it's one of those things that, like I said, is unique. It's something that someone handmade, and you're only going to find it there. Not to mention that, like I said, these things aren't mass produced, so it's not like you can go to a store and just pick one up. It might be on Etsy. I haven't really looked there recently, but all I know is that I was so excited, and I'm so happy that this vendor was there and had these for sale, because it is just, it's so awesome. So I was really, really excited for that. So that is my the crown jewel of what I found at the Texas Haunters Convention, and I just wanted to make sure and share that with you guys. So are you a person who goes to these conventions? Do you like them? Have you seen the Krampus movie? Let me know in the comments below. If you are someone who is new to my channel, if you aren't a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button to support my channel and to let me know that you want to see more content like this one. But all in all, it was a fun time seeing everyone at the convention. It was fun to go by and see all the vendors and buy things. And also, I did reach out to a vendor after seeing some things at their booth that I didn't actually buy initially, and then I came back around after wanting to go at least one time around before I bought from them. And then I was so sad that they didn't actually have what I wanted to buy, and it is a Art the Clown little knit figure. Actually, another thing that I did get is this little knit Sam from Trick or Treat, and I do have quite a few Sam items in my house. I have little statuettes that they came out with from Spirit last year. I have I believe a snow globe that's Sam. I have a giant Sam that you can technically put outside your house for decoration, but of course none of my Halloween decorations that I love really end up going outside, because I live in an area where there's a lot of wind and things get messed up and covered in dirt. So yeah, it's just not a good idea to put anything out there that I don't think can be brushed off. But anyway, so I have so many things that are Sam and Trick or Treat, because Trick or Treat is one of those movies that to me heavily exudes the Halloween vibe and just kind of immerses you in that time of year, the autumn, the fall, jack-o'-lanterns, all those things. So I just love little Sam, and I love anything Sam related. So I was pretty excited to see that they had this little guy. So that was pretty cool. And then this vendor that I found who does other knits kind of similar to this one, she actually had a Terrifier Art the Clown, one of these guys, but a bigger one. And I was so sad. I went by her booth and I saw it and I wanted to buy it, but I didn't, and I kept walking around because I was like, okay, let me not get ahead of myself. I was literally buying up so many things right when I walked in that I was like, okay, let me just ease up a bit, make sure I do at least a loop around before I come back. And by the time I came back, he was already sold. So I was pretty sad, but then I asked her about it and I got her information, and I actually linked up with her over Facebook. So I will be getting a Art the Clown little knit character pretty soon, and so when I do get that, I will definitely make sure to show him to you guys, and then also link her page in my description, so that way you guys can check her out and also see if there's anything that she makes that you might want to pick up from her. But yeah, a lot of these people are making these handmade items that definitely take a while to create, and I just love them. There's so much little detail and things that they do for them, and so much care that's put into these types of things that I just get really excited when I see stuff like this that I know either I'm not gonna have time to make, or that I just know someone put a lot of time and effort into doing. So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool, and I will absolutely be back to Texas Haunters Convention. I'm excited to see what they come out with next year. I am definitely going to have my list of items that I want want to check out first, you know, when I go there. But I might even reach out to a couple of vendors to create something that I can maybe pick up when I'm there, which is always fun. So the other thing you can do if you maybe aren't in the area, can't come out to the area, I highly recommend going on to their websites. So both the Texas Frightmare Weekend and the Texas Haunters Convention list out their vendors on their website, and if they have a linkable website like a social or a website, they will have a link to their site that's like a hyperlink from the name of the booth itself. I kind of went through and clicked all of them when I saw one and didn't remember the name of it and wanted to find out who it was. So that's one thing you can do if you know you won't be able to make it to the convention, but you still want to check out some of these small businesses and vendors. You absolutely can go onto their websites and find these vendors via those links. I think that is a neat thing that they do. That's exciting, helps the vendors out, and of course, I am, like I said, all for supporting these small businesses if you can, because at the end of the day, if we don't support them, they won't be there. They'll stop doing business, and then, you know, we can't have fun things like conventions without people who do unique things like this. So I am always excited for that. I highly recommend checking out these vendors. I'm going to try to find any that I can and link them in the description below, so that way you can check them out. But what did you think of this haul, guys? Anything that you would like in particular for yourself? Do you have any cool stuff in your collection that is from a unique vendor that I don't know about? If so, link them in the comments below. But otherwise, I want to thank you so much for watching this video, and definitely see you in the next one. Bye, guys.